Well, today I got you with a brand new gardening video about how to grow stuff. Yes, there's gonna be a ton of these this week, and yeah, that's gonna be probably it. I'm gonna probably upload like one of these like every other day. Tomorrow there's gonna be a garden tour, so stick around. And today's topic is going to be broccoli. I have a seed packet right here to use as an example because it is not yet growing season yet here. No matter how much I want it to be, it's only 48 degrees right now here in growing zone 6B. That's what's up right now. So yeah, we don't have any time right now, and maybe by Memorial Day weekend I'll probably talk a little bit more about transplanting this sort of stuff and planting stuff directly into the ground more frequently. But today we're gonna be talking about growing broccoli, and we always want to consider these backsides as well. Let's get into it. So firstly, this varieties of broccoli are really important because they all take a different amount of time. So this is a Sun King hybrid broccoli that takes 71 days to harvest. Most of them are usually 50 to 70. You can get some that are a bit higher than that though. Sorry if you hear any wind noises, it decided to be a bit windy today. And you want to plant them about 1/4 inch into the ground, about 16 inches apart from each other. This is if you are going to be growing them in, that's going to be if you're going to be planting them directly into the ground. And that right there is for some of you folks who are higher than 6B. I'm unfortunately stuck here in 6B. But if you want to get a head start on them and you want to do 2 broccoli seasons, we'll talk about both of them later, you want to check and see if your seed packet has that container friendly on it. And if it does, you can start them in containers, meaning that you can start them with the seed blocks that we usually use, or you can start them with a variety of other things as well. So you do want to be transplanting these frequently, like any other plant you would be planting in your garden, like always. And they seem to flower really quickly. They're usually gonna get they're gonna get big pretty quickly, just like green beans, which I'll probably talk about later. And these are some of those plants that you could choose if you want to put them on a trellis or not. And you want to prepare a nice hole for them, as I said, about 16 to 24 inches apart from each other. Do the measurement there. You might need a tape measure or a meter stick or a ruler or whatever. And you plant them right into the ground there. And then you can basically just, and then put them in the ground. Use 10-10-10 fertilizer if you're in 6B or 6A or whatever. Or depending on your growing zone, it could be anything really. You could have all these different things out here as well. And that's pretty much all there is to say about transplanting broccoli. It's nothing too crazy. It's like transplanting any other plant into the garden. Now, for basic care throughout the lifespan of a broccoli, what you want to do is once you hit that 70 days after you plant them, you can begin harvesting the top. You want to cut the top off of them gradually. And after a while, you'll notice the top will start to grow back slower and slower. You'll probably get maybe about 2 to 3 weeks of harvesting out of them. So if you plant them in like March, like we do, you'll probably start to see harvesting by like maybe the 1st or 2nd week of June, or if you planted a week early, which you shouldn't do because we actually almost had a frost last June. I'm not joking here. In northwestern Connecticut, we can get that sort of stuff. Our last average frost date is like May 22nd, I think, or something like that. And yeah, it's crazy to think about all this sort of stuff here can happen. So if you planted a week early, maybe you might be able to get a Memorial Day weekend harvest or even before then. So it's crazy. But you want to know something? You can actually have a second period of broccoli. So you rip that broccoli plant out usually by 4th of July weekend, because that is when that first season ends and the second broccoli growing begins. You'll begin growing that next set of broccoli plants, and the first thing you'll realize is that those broccoli plants will also go pretty quickly. So if you're in a growing zone, I'd say about 5A, you should be good to go with the second round of broccoli. You put those in the ground after about a day or two after you rip out those original plants. Also, you can do whatever you want with those original plants. You could either use them as compost, or if you have chickens or ducks like I do. I don't have ducks. I used to have ducks, but our last duck died last year, unfortunately. Rest in peace to What the Duck. We could just feed it to them because that plant isn't toxic. In the fall, you could use chickens as like fertilizer. I'll show you. I might make a video in a little while about how to do that. But biggest and most important thing here is that second batch will be probably producing in like September. So that's something to remember. Growing broccoli, I will say, is a big task. but it only requires about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week. So you can probably set it up on the same irrigation system as you have in a trellis zone, or you can water them once or twice a week, like people that don't know how to set up an irrigation system do.